Hi everybody, welcome back. If you recall from last time, we've been working with this Smith & Wesson 500 Magnum here. It came in with a couple of problems. And last time we dealt with a bent extractor rod. This time we're going to be taking a look at these scratches here in the back plate here of the frame. And basically what we want to do here is we want to get rid of them. So that's what we're going to do. And you don't need a whole lot for this. Obviously you need the gun. And you need some kind of sanding block. It's a small area, so I'm going to be using this little square dowel here. And you're going to want to get some of this wet dry sandpaper. 320 is probably a pretty good grit. You can also go with 400. Basically, the higher the number, the finer the sandpaper, and the less it's going to mark. So let's take this apart and take a look at what we're dealing with. First things first, we want to take the cylinder out so we can get it out of the way. And I know you're all jealous of my kitties. Come here, you. There we go. Take that. And we're just going to take this cylinder right off of there, arm and all, and move that off to the side without knocking our camera all over the place. Of course, you'll have the advantage. You don't have a camera. Okay. And there's a little bit better look at what we're working with. Now, it's a little bit difficult to get this in the camera because this firearm is kind of big. We basically have two different surfaces here that we're going to have to work with, and that's this sort of flattened surface here. Now it's a little bit curved, but mostly flat, so that's what we're going to be using the sanding block for, and then we'll just have to use our finger for this curved area. And I did actually forget one thing that you're going to need for that, and that's going to be some of this lubricating oil. It doesn't have to be Hops 9, it could be pretty much any gun oil. So I'm going to take my sandpaper and my sanding block here, and put some oil on there. You can't really get too much oil on here. There's no such thing as too much oil on the sandpaper. You definitely don't want it dry. You will need some patience for this because it takes a while. And you don't want to take too much material off of here because you don't really want to alter the gap too much. So we're basically just smoothing this out. Okay. Now there's definitely, I can feel here there's definitely a curvature right there. So I'm going to go ahead and start using my finger for this. And making sure that it stays sort of nice and tight into my finger because I don't want to accidentally sand areas outside of the affected spot. It's definitely smoothing out there. You can see those sharp edges are going away. And remember, go nice and slow and sort of feel it out. See how you're doing. Stop frequently so that you can make sure you don't take too much off, because clearly You can, you know, you can take more off at any time, but you can't put it back on. And at this point, it's looking pretty good. Okay. We'll go ahead and take a little bit more off right there. Make sure you're using part of the sandpaper. If you put it down and you pick it back up, make sure that you're going back to a part that has oil on it. Okay. Now, at this point, you can still see the gouge here. That's pretty deep. And if you really look, you might be able to tell where the other ones used to be. I can sort of see them a little bit here, but it's smooth. Okay, can't really feel it anymore. If I use my fingernail, I can get that caught in there, but it's not jutting out anymore. And so that's probably as far as I want to take this, because I don't want to take off too much of the actual material. Either way, it's looking a whole lot better than it was. And I think the smoothness is the important part here. And that's pretty much it. And you can do that with any part of the frame. Flat surfaces, you want to use some kind of flat surface to make sure that you're not adding curve, and then on curved surfaces like here or this little groove in here, you want to use your finger or maybe a sponge, some kind of soft spongy sanding block, so that you don't flatten out the curved surfaces. It's sort of a like for like kind of thing, but that's pretty much it. That's really all there is to it. And then this is obviously for stainless, so if you have a gun with some kind of finish, blued or parkerized or something like that, you're probably going to need to look into getting that redone. I mean, not probably, you're definitely going to need that redone, because this is going to take that off. But that's pretty much the whole procedure there, and I think this is going to work. So I guess I'll see you guys next time, and if you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I will see you next time.